Hello everyone, my name is Super123 and today I'm going to see if I can beat Pokémon Red and Blue with only a Slowpoke. Slowpoke is a really strange Gen 1 Psychic type, having better physical attack than Special, despite both of its types being Special based. Its lowest stat is of course Speed, being called Slowpoke, actually having the lowest base speed in all of Gen 1, but with a really high HP stat rivaling that of the legendary birds, it might be able to outlive hits better than it can outspeed other Pokemon. Its move pool contains nearly all special moves excluding Headbutt, but we're stuck with Confusion until level 22. Its TM list, however, is one of the best I've seen in a while. Such a wide range of moves from the physical Body Slam and Earthquake to the special Psychic, Surf and Ice Beam. Literally the best moves in Gen 1 and we get access to them all. Paired with Amnesia to raise its special by 2 stages each time, Slowpoke could be one of the better Pokemon in Gen 1 regardless of speed. Before we get into the challenge, here are the rules. I can only use Slowpoke in battle, I can have other Pokemon in my team for HMs but they can't be used in battle, no using items in battle, and no cheating or glitches as much as I can because Gen 1 is a glitchy mess. And if you do go in to enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Around 73% of viewers are not subscribed, which is strange, seeing as you're here, just hit subscribe, it's easy. And if you do have any ideas for challenge runs, be sure to leave them in the comments or on my Twitter at Super123. Plugging of my social medias aside, without further ado, let's get into the challenge. I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Slowpoke, as both of Slowpoke's types are super effective against Charizard and Venusaur, meaning Blastoise would be the most annoying to take out. I called it Usain, because naming one of the slowest Pokemon after the fastest man in the world is just something that makes me laugh. With our only move being a special one, we are already set to battle Brock since his Geodude and Onix have really low special. I did battle the gym trainer without healing and I lost, which sent me all the way back to Pallet Town, which means I had to pass through 2 cities with Pokemon Centers just to get home. I guess I was homesick. After trekking all the way back to Pewter City, I battled Brock at level 11. Geodude was no trouble at all with Confusion doing a good job, and now for the Onix, who uses Bide first turn. Bide deals back double the damage dealt to the user in 2 to 3 turns, and the usual way around this is to spam a non-damaging move or items. Sadly, we are stuck with Confusion and no items in battle, so we actually lost this first battle to Brock. Kind of embarrassing. I jumped straight into the battle again, and of course with Geodude I just spam Confusion as it hits itself in its confused state, moving on to Onix. Onix kept using Tackle until we took it into knockout range, which is then when it used Bide. Luckily we were able to take it out before Bide actually does anything, claiming the first badge, and yeah, I lost with a water type. I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot I could have done, but let's move on to the next gym. Now for battling Misty's gym, I really do need another move, seeing as battling her Psychic type Starmie with only Confusion wouldn't really work out too well. The Water Gun TM in Mount Moon is helpful, but not for that specific battle. Our first try at the rival battle was so close, with Squirtle only being on a pixel of health before we lost. I did take that loss on the chin since I got a level up from it, and went straight back into it. Pidgeotto is a terrible lead to face off against, seeing as it's so fast and 9 times out of 10 it will use Sand Attack. Luckily for my sanity, it didn't take us too many tries to beat the battle, and despite a Sand Attack at the beginning, we got the win, but the difficulty of the battle just shows we need to level up more. At level 22 we got the move Headbutt, a 70 base power move that in this generation doesn't have the added effect of flinching, but then again it would only work if we outsped the Pokemon, which is never going to happen. Despite Headbutt not having same type attack bonus, our better physical attack should make up for that as I go into Misty's gym. Despite Misty using a couple of X defense, all I had to do was spam Headbutt. Starmie only used Tackle, probably because Bubble Beam is not very effective on Slowpoke, but that just made this battle a lot easier, getting the badge and the TM for Bubble Beam, which I taught over Water Gun since it's a lot better at 65 base power as opposed to the latter's 40. On the way to the next gym, we got a really important item from the Team Rocket Grunt in Cerulean, giving us the TM for Dig. Dig is going to be our saviour against LtSerge, since we have nothing very good against electric types. But first, I had to get the Farfetch'd as a HM user from a trade, and I had to go to the SSN. There is another important item here in the TM for Body Slam. I did battle a few trainers on the ship, but that's only because I got lost. I did get a maxi for and a rare candy for it, so maybe it's okay being forgetful. The rival battle was nothing special since all I did was spam headbutt, but now the gym, which I'm really worried about since we are weak to it. My first try was actually going really well until Pikachu used a Thunder Wave on us and we got really bad paralysis luck. On the second try, everything went a lot better than expected. All Surge wanted to do was use X speeds on some of the fastest Pokemon in the game against the slowest Pokemon in the game. Either way, I'm not complaining as it lets us use Dig to take out his first two Pokemon, and even though the Raichu took us to the red with one Thunderbolt and paralysed us, we got off a final Dig against all odds. I wasn't expecting to win that quickly, but I'm not going to complain. And now another gym that we're going to be weak against is Erica's gym. But before that gym we have to get through the rock tunnel, which isn't very difficult since we are a water type. And once I reached Celadon City, I went to the department store to give the girl on the roof a fresh water and got the TM for Ice Beam. This is one of the best moves and will be great coverage against the grass gym. Another move that's going to be great since most grass types are part poison type is the TM for Psychic in Saffron City, also obtained by giving random civilians liquid refreshments. These are both extremely powerful special attacking moves and providing great coverage to Slowpoke, but even still, I decided to skip Erica for now as I didn't feel I could handle it despite our improved moveset. I went to battle Giovanni instead, who was extremely easy, and then going to the Lavender Tower rival battle, who was also extremely easy. After that I went to get some extra EXP at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City, which was also easy seeing as we're a Psychic type. I mainly went here to pick up a Hitmonlee for the HM user so we could use Strength, but I forgot we also get a Lapras in this very same city without having to make such a detour. It doesn't matter though, as I got some extra levels, and on the way to Fuchsia City we hit level 40, which means Slowpoke learns Amnesia, a move that raises Slowpoke's special stat by 2 times, but it also, thanks to the badge boost glitch, raises every other stat too. I've never explained the badge boost glitch in my Gen 1 runs before, so here's the short version. Every odd numbered gym gives us small increases in our stats, and these boosts will stack on top of the stat gains you get from your moves. So that means if I use Amnesia to boost my special attack, then my attack, speed, defense are all going to be raised as well. These boosts do go away if your stats are modified, like gaining a level in battle or the battle ends, and this means that Koga is going to be extremely easy, as I used Amnesia twice, boosting our special attack by +4, which also in turn raises our attack and defense by 1 stage each time, as those are the boosts you get from the first and third gym battles. But those don't really mean too much in this battle as I was using Psychic. Yeah, +4 Psychic against a poison gym, I'm pretty sure you can guess how this went. Extremely easily, got the badge, and yeah. So the next big battle on our travel is the rival battle in Silphco. I could have done the fire gym first since we are super effective against it, but I wanted to test my strength here first. It's all well and good beating up gyms that we're really good against, but the true challenge comes from battling mixed attacking teams. I did lose my first attempt at the rival battle as I wasn't paying attention and Execute did a lot more than I expected with Leech Seed and Stun Spore. My second try went a lot smoother however since Psychic did really well against Execute somehow, and we just scraped past the Blastoise because I used Dig rather than Psychic. I still wasn't really paying too much attention here. Of course when I'm recording this audio my allergies would act up. Why am I allergic to grass? Imagine who goes up to grass and is like, oh no, I'm going to be really ill because of the grass. Something that I beat just as much as my allergies are beating me up is Giovanni, due to our type advantage. No wonder Team Rocket wanted to raid Slowpoke well in Gen 2, seeing as it's Giovanni's main weakness. Sabrina I wasn't expecting it to go too well, but we do have Dig and our Kadabra and Alakazam have really bad physical defense. Kadabra showed this right away as we knock it out with Dig, and Mr. Mime the Creep didn't faint to a lone Dig, so I had to take it out with Psychic. I probably should have used Dig again, because I had to use 2 Psychics. She then sends in Venomoth as I land 2 Psychics as it uses Stun Spore, which is kind of annoying to get Digs through on Alakazam. After knocking out Venomoth, Alakazam comes out, and it just becomes a Recover spam fest from Sabrina. Every time I would use an attack, she would just use Recover. I don't know why she wasn't using any other moves apart from Recover and Light Screen, but that's all she did. I eventually had to resort to using Psychic to lower Alakazam's special and boosting my own with Amnesia. After a few boosts and a few bubble beams, we finally managed to take out the Recover stalling Alakazam. She gave us the badge and the TM for Psywave, which was of course tossed into the furthest furnace in the Pokemon universe because it is the worst move in the world. I would have rather preferred a TM for Splash. In the Pokemon Mansion I got the TM for Blizzard, but Ice Beam is still going to be my go-to move since I know for a fact that Blizzard for me is going to have minus 200 accuracy. But unlike in later games, Blizzard has an accuracy of 90 rather than 80, meaning it's a little bit of a boost, but it will still miss basically every time for me. I learned that from a lovely challenge runner called Scott's Thoughts. Check him out if you haven't already, but watch all of my videos first. I should have also got the TM for Earthquake in Silphco, but by the time I got to Cinnabar Island I forgot about it, and also didn't know where it was in Silphco, and I didn't want to delay the video by another 400 years. Dig and Earthquake in Gen 1 have the same base power anyway, it's just a matter of wasting a turn digging underground. Of course I have to bring up my Justice for Metapod in Cinnabar Gym since Caterpie does not evolve into Butterfree, it's Metapod then Butterfree, hashtag Justice for Metapod, get it in the comments. Having a water type that's pretty high leveled now with a special boosting move made this fire gym really easy. Dig and Bubble Beam worked wonders as all of Blaine's team tried to do was to lower my stats with the likes of Growl and Tail Whip. Nothing caused me any trouble at all, and when his Arcanine came out, he used a super potion at full health and kept using Roar, which doesn't work in trainer battles. If we're going off the normal gym badge sequence, Blaine is the 7th gym leader and he's just spamming super potions. Gen 1, what are you doing? Alright, what did we do in Erica's gym? We fought some trainers, we went to fight Erica right away. Use Psychic, and use Psychic. Cool. Now we finally get into the last gym battle against a man who we've beaten up multiple times before. Am I scared about this battle? No, not at all. Rhyhorn and Dugtrio were both one-shots with no damage taken on our side. Nidoqueen used Scratch and Tail Whip. The last gym leader used Scratch and Tail Whip. Yeah, we take it out pretty easily. Nidoking was a little bit better, but Poison Sting is still a really weak move, but it did poison us, but a Dig and Psychic do the job. And of course, the 4-time super effective Bubble Beam beats the Rhydon and gets us the final badge. Now why are the final gym leaders' moves so terrible? All I can say is, Gen 1. Seriously, there are youngsters knocking about in Cerulean City that have more threatening movesets than this. Maybe the rival would be a bit of a challenge. Well, he wasn't too much this time, but I did lose my first attempt, which is more than can be said about Giovanni. Seriously, that Giovanni battle has really got me about how easy it was in this challenge. Even Brock gave me more of a challenge than that. Maybe it's just a testament to how good Slowpoke is, but it doesn't matter as we beat the last rival battle before the victory road and can carry on with the final hurdle of the game. I reached the Elite Four level 57, and if we utilise Amnesia correctly, this could go fairly smoothly. But if I level up in battle, my boosts are reset. Plus we have the small matter of the 58 base speed to contend with. Hopefully our defences can match up and we can survive a few hits. I also top Body Slam with a Dig, due to extra PP, and it allows us to hit a few more Pokemon with neutral damage. Leave your final predictions in the comments what level you think will beat the Elite Four at. So here is my first attempt at the Elite Four, and with Lorelei I started up by setting up an Amnesia. Dugong did use Growl to negate our attack boost from the badge boost, but at least Body Slam got the paralysis and the special boosts were still intact. Psychic blew it away, and it also blew away the leading Cloyster, which has an insane amount of defense, but its special is not quite up to par. The older bro in Slowbro resists our Psychic, but with 2 Amnesia boosts and an added special drop, it didn't go down too badly. With Jinx I tried a Psychic on, remembering that it isn't water type, and that means I could use Bubble Beam for a lot better damage. My final Pokemon is Lapras, who just faints to 2 Psychics because they're boosted. Overall I was expecting Lorelei to be the most troublesome of the Elite Four, but that battle proved to me that it's not completely terrifying. Something that is really terrifying though is how bad Bruno loses to Slowpoke. Literally everything on his team is weak to it. This is how easy it was. I mean, I didn't even set up any Amnesia boosts. Because his team are faster than us, and everything is in this challenge, he does get in a little bit of damage, but not much at all. Even his Ace Machamp uses Leer and an X Defend, which doesn't really work seeing as I'm using special moves. Moving on to Agatha, who actually was the biggest challenge in this Elite Four, and I underestimated her. I really should have kept Dig for a super effective physical move against Gengar since they have a really high special stat and no Levitate. It also has the added annoyance of status conditions like Sleep and Confusion, which of course I get really bad luck with because it's me! With the power of Confusion and Sleep, the first Gengar takes us all the way to 74 HP with a whole 4 other Pokemon to face off with. It's not looking too good right now. I then set up an Amnesia against the Golbat, the Pokemon with the greatest sprite in the entire Pokemon franchise, and then I land a Psychic to take it out. Haunter tries to confuse me with a Confuse Ray, but I'm already confused, and then we snap out of confusion on that very same turn. That is just such a great feeling, you love to see it, and then hitting a Psychic for a one-shot. Now because Agatha is somewhat of a genius, she sends in Arbok only to swap into her second Gengar just to take a boosted Psychic for no reason. Gengar does use Toxic, but with another Psychic and one on the Arbok as well, who can't be swapped out this time, it doesn't matter about the Toxic damage. Luckily after the battle I had a spare full heal in my bag because I forgot to buy them at the mart before entering. I mean, it really didn't matter in the long run, as Lance was the run ender anyway, sorry to burst the bubble here. I did teach Ice Beam over Bubble Beam however, since it would be more useful against his dragon types, but it didn't help us in this specific instance. Gyarados being a free hit with Psychic really puts us in an uphill battle with it using such powerful moves like Hyper Beam, and even though I did get to Aerodactyl, it lands a critical bite, ending this battle. I may have lost a Lance a bit earlier than expected, but there was definitely room to be optimistic for my next attempts. We actually went one better in the next run, and in fact did take out the Aerodactyl and got to Lance's last Pokemon Dragonite, but it blasted our 27 HP with a Hyper Beam. Overkill much? I then had a few runs against Agatha which ended there due to us getting horrible luck with sleep and confusion, unlike that first attempt I narrated where I woke up almost immediately and hardly got hit by confusion hacks. I lost to her about 5 times and it really shows, as we then go into this run at level 63. In that time I devised some better strategies to make the battles a lot faster and smoother, and that method was spamming Amnesia to get +6 special attack. This was kind of shown in the Lorelei battle, but it didn't quite go to plan with the level up midway, and the fact we still have Ice Beam and not Bubble Beam for the Jinx. Well, in hindsight the plan didn't go as well as before, but you know what? I still won, and you know who wasn't a problem at all? Bruno. He wasn't a trouble at the lower level, and of course at this high level, he's not a trouble at all. It still didn't stop me setting up Amnesias for some reason. I guess I did this as I was just curious about the badge boost glitch and preserving PP for Psychic to face Agatha. And of course it was almost my downfall as Hitmonchan used Counter, but luckily our HP is so high, it doesn't mean that much to us. Machamp still loves that delicious X-Defend and is one shot. Thanks for the free XP, Bruno. Now can this improved level help us make light work of the status inflicting old hag? I managed to get in one Amnesia before it puts us to sleep, since it used Dream Eater when I was awake. I guess Pokemon don't daydream? That lone Amnesia was enough to take out Gengar in one hit, so obviously I'm expecting it to do the same to the rest of her team. Golbat's confusion couldn't stop us, even the paralysis hacks from Arbok's glare couldn't stop us, and we even one-shot the last Gengar trying to eat our dreams while awake. I guess I definitely had a lot of dream luck with there, but don't worry, there's no cheating or glitches in this run as I said in the beginning. Yep, even a small Pokemon YouTuber can't help but get digs in at one of the biggest Minecraft YouTubers. What an odd timeline we live in. I still wasn't extremely confident and needed to pump Slowpoke with some performance enhancing drugs in the form of rare candies, taking it to level 69, and of course we land on that because it's the funny number. The start to the Lance battle was probably the best start I could have hoped for. As I set up Amnesia, it misses a Hyper Beam and we land a critical hit Ice Beam. That freezes. Someone in the comments, please calculate the probability of that turn happening. I'll even shout you out in my next video, I don't care. I just want to know how rare that turn was. While it was frozen, I did set up some more Amnesia, just because you can't thaw out in this generation, so I had ample time to do that. I took it out, and the first Dragonair we actually outspeed thanks to the badge boost glitch, and take it out with an Ice Beam, and it was Deja Vu against the next Dragonair too. Now for Aerodactyl, and I need to land a hit here because it is very powerful. It uses Supersonic and only one takedown. Luckily it never used Hyper Beam or anything like that, only Supersonic, and we can land an Ice Beam and finally face off against the Dragonite. This is the best position I've been in a while. Can we pull this off? It hits a Hyper Beam, but thanks to these badge boosts boosting our defense, we take measly damage off it and can land an Ice Beam that is of course going to knock it out at 4 times super effective. Wow. What about that was? And now we have the champion to battle, and it's my first attempt at the champion too. Let's see how we can do. Now before the battle, I used my last PP item on Psychic. Since we had nothing to bring back the PP of Ice Beam now, I just had to replace it with Blizzard. I hope this works, or I'm going to be having some stern words with Scott for making me try this move in this first place. And now it's time. Champion battle, Slowpoke versus Fast. He leads with Pidgeotto, and I'm obviously going to use Blizzard and... Scott, I swear to God, I'm unsubscribing from your channel. Blizzard wasn't even a one-shot either, so I had to use Psychic. Not a great start, but can we pull this one back? Alakazam kept using Reflect and Recover since it has new super effective attacks, so I used this time to set up a lone Amnesia and proceeded to Body Slam. And after 3 body flops from our pink blob, it's time to face Rhydon. Rhydon I'd normally not be too bothered with, but since our only super effective move is now Blizzard, it might actually miss, so I'm kinda worried. Despite our speeding, we do miss, but Rhydon has really weak attacks. But the HP will pile up though if we give it the chance. Thankfully it doesn't get too bad, and we land a Blizzard to take it out. Executor is the same as Rhydon, mainly using really weak multi-hit moves, but with us only having 1 Blizzard left, I resorted to Body Slamming. It didn't really do too much, but we did get the paralysis, so this gives me time to set up 2 more Amnesia. But that still wasn't enough, as it takes 2 more Body Slams to beat, but it does take us down to 58 HP. He then sends in Gyarados, and that 58 HP is just enough to help us survive a Dragon Rage, which does a fixed 40 damage, and hit a powerful boosted Psychic, leading to his final Pokemon, his starter, his ace, his blast... Charizard? Yeah, I don't know why he has a Charizard now, I'm guessing my game glitched or something. What's even stranger is that it used Rage for 7 damage, allowing us to land a very heavily boosted Psychic for the victory, and complete the challenge at level 70, with an in-game time of 5 hours, 40 minutes. I really don't know why he had a Charizard at the end there, I can only apologise on behalf of Gen 1 being a glitchy mess, but out of all the moves it has in its moveset, why Rage? Even Fire Spin would have been better, and that's Fire Spin! Final thoughts of the run is that once I got to the midsection of the game and got access to a load of great TMs, it really made the challenge a whole lot easier. Slowpoke has such a diverse learn set, and I could have done this challenge with any assortment of moves, a full special set or a full physical set, and it would have done just as well. Despite being really slow, it actually wasn't a bad Pokemon to use, and if it actually had proper stat distribution, it could be one of the best Pokemon in Gen 1, I'm saying it now. But even without the best stat spread, Slowpoke is still one of the best Pokemon, and we all love the dopey little terror, even the Alolan form who dyed its hair like every YouTuber ever. Including me, I've done that before. For my next Pokemon challenge, I'm going to be going back to Gen 3 to take on Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire with only a Makuhita. Really low base stats and a fighting type in a region with a flying and psychic gym. What could go wrong? I also have a Pokemon card pack opening to do since I randomly have a few packs lying around. Look forward to that and hit subscribe so you're notified of when those videos come out. Leave a comment in the comment section below of any challenges you'd like me to do. I'm slowly working my way through the Pokemon challenge requests that you guys have given me. Remember, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.